What's up, y'all? This is Zenny. Stop the presses, pump the brakes. First off, I want to say thank you, man, wow. To everybody who responded, commented, reposted, liked, shared my video from last week, talking about my journey and how I got to where I'm at today. I really appreciate everybody who took the time to watch that 22-minute rant. Man, it was just something I really had to get off my chest, and I do appreciate everybody who checked that out. And at least you get to know a little bit more about your boy. So thank you. But today I want to break down how to get the best experience editing video on your iOS devices. There have been so many questions about which iPad should I get, or can I do this on my phone, or how do I get good background music in my videos, or what's the best ways to back up your files? How do you move, objects around in the video? What's the best way to do a voiceover? Let me show you how I break down all of that and try to get it within under 10 minutes. You already know what I'm saying. There won't be no delaying. Let's go.
The business.
I make sure my settings is all right on point, like Stacey Adams, right? First things first, let's talk about the actual devices that you'll be using. So when people are asking, what iPad should I get? Or, is it possible to do the same things on the iPhone? And, regardless of what iPhone you have, either, any iPhone, probably between iPhone, anything that can record the 4K video out of your phone or out of your iPad should be able to edit video on LumaFusion with no problem. The question is, how much video will you be doing, and will you be shooting everything in 4K? What I tell people is, if you're going to be shooting, video in 4K, if you're going to be shooting, with different cameras that shoot in high resolutions and big bit rates, that's like how many megabytes per second the video is capturing that file, you're gonna get some extremely big files. And so that is the main reason I tell people, get as much space as you can afford. Because if you can get the 512, gigabyte iPad Pro, it's still going to probably run you about $1,000, something like that. But, if you can't, you can still do these same things on your phone. Like anything that can be done on the iPad Pro with LumaFusion, you can do on LumaFusion on your iPhone. And so don't be discouraged because you don't have an iPad to be able to do these things, do these edits, and edit video on your iOS device. You can do the exact same things. I have friends and colleagues who are killing it editing just on their phone. And I'll tell you this, the more that people learn how to edit on the smaller device, on the phone, that's the way of the future, because I really see more people going more just to their phone for every single thing that they do in their career. And so if you learn how to get tactile and really know how to edit well on your phone, you're gonna be a beast within the next 3 to 5 years. So little tidbit right there. First thing I want to break down, and what I get asked all the time as it relates to files in space, is how am I backing up these files? And I've talked about this before, but I have to reiterate the fact that you should understand that having something like an iCloud account will only go hand in hand with something like LumaFusion, because you don't have a lot of space on even the most, even the biggest iPad Pro or the biggest iPhone. And so when I go and I edit a video, and this is just my personal preference, but after I've edited a video and I feel great about it, if I've backed up those files on another hard drive, maybe using my computer, then I just want to back up this LumaFusion setting. What I'll do is I'll go into here where last week my daughter had her first ballet lesson, and so she was super excited. It's already chopped up, it's already edited, the music's in there, we have everything, the text is in there, the whole nine. And so all I do is I go here and I go to Project Archive, and I literally use iCloud Drive all the time for these. And I always make sure that I use trimmed media, because all it does is going to take the files that you used, only the files that you used in that edit, and it's going to back that up in this file. Now, if I were to go to use the full media for each file, you can see the estimated size gets way bigger depending on how big your video is. And this is only a 2-minute video. That's going up to almost 9 gigabytes. When I go to the smaller file, it's 2 gigabytes. And so I have an iCloud family sharing account that I've talked about before. If you could, put that in your budget for something, one of these storage, the cloud storage, the situations you're going to need, whether it's Google, Box, Dropbox, iCloud. I like iCloud just for the simple fact for backing up my LUMA Fusion files is because it just works seamlessly with it. And so I just trim the media, file size it tells me, and it just, Beans first ballet lesson, boom, and it's gonna write. And then when it's done, I just created a folder that's called LUMA Fusion Backups inside of my iCloud drive. I put it there and I wait for it to fully back up. And I say that because there's been times where I backed it up, I put it in my iCloud drive, and then, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, I just deleted the file because it was huge. But I didn't let it take the time to fully back up into the cloud. So always make sure that it's fully backed up. And what I mean by that is when it's done and you go into files, it shouldn't have like the little, you see this little cloud thing here, down here? All of these are where you can download. It's straight in the cloud. This means it's still literally on your device. If it's just blank here, it's still on your device. Now, if it has like a little gray cloud and doesn't have a download sign, it's just a gray cloud, that means that it's on your device, but it's not in the cloud yet. So you have to make sure that you get that file all the way backed up into the cloud. From there, you'll be good and you'll be good to go. And if you ever need to download it back into LUMA Fusion, it's a very simple process. Okay, so another question people ask me a ton is about the music, the background music, how to get free music from the internet to put background to your videos. A site that I've used a lot for music as well as for video is a site called looperman.com. That's looperman.com. They've been around for a long time. And what it is a community of people who upload ideas, samples, acapellas, different beats, different loops to this site. And basically they're uploading it with the knowledge that anybody that, hears it and loves it and is a signed user of looperman.com can download it and use it for whatever, whether it's music, whether it's your background or whatever. And it's literally royalty free. So let me show you. If I go to the documents, this is how I get all my files off the internet. Let me go here to the browser. Looperman.com. This is looperman.com. I'm going to log in. All right, so I'm logged in. And as you can see, there's a ton of things you can look for. They have tracks. They've had this site for years. There's a ton of sounds up here. So if there's something that I liked, like, and Evangelina, make sure it doesn't have a grayed out download sign like that. You can hit this download. It's evangelina.mp3. I'm saving in my documents. Done. So like I said before, you can select, hit share, and send it straight to LUMA Fusion. Now I say that because, before I've talked about other places that have paid subscriptions to music sites. And I know a lot of people are like, are there any free sites? Yes, this is one of them. Once again, it's looperman.com. They have a ton of sounds, a ton of loops, tracks, acapellas, the whole nine, and they're royalty free. So, hey, that's just a little tip from your boy to get y'all some of that free skis, Louis skis. Another step in LUMA Fusion that's great is keyframing. And anybody that knows about keyframing in video is basically where you put a marker at a certain part at a video and another marker at the other certain part, whether it's an in and an out, and you can change the way an aspect of the video is working. So it could be in a transition, it can be an effect. I don't know if you guys saw, like in my last video, I put like a crazy little emoji face over my face and made it move. Let me show you exactly how that works and how you can use keyframing with any of the edit parts of your video. So say for instance, I have this Bean and Mila's first ballet lesson, right? I want to make that kind of move in a circle. So basically it's not a static text. I'm gonna double tap in here to where you see the whole thing, right? I'm gonna go over here to frame and fit. If I go to the front of it, where's that? You see size and position down here and these 3 little circles with a plus sign, that's your keyframe. So say for instance, I want to make it kind of move around and around. The first thing I'm gonna do is hit this keyframe button. Now that's gonna lock that keyframe. Now if I kind of move it, let's see here. I move this, so now I can kind of move that there, move that there. This is really sloppy, but you guys can get the idea. Move that there, move that there. I'm literally just moving it, and you see it's making these little dots, and those are keyframes. And maybe if I want to get back to the middle, I just change the position back to 0 here on position X and position Y. And it's that simple, right? Keyframing is so simple. Now, if I go back, you'll see that it moves how I keyframed it. You can get really detailed with this, but I just want to show you, for people who don't understand keyframing, how simple it is. Right? Simple, but you can do some awesome things. Now, I watched a video a few months back about how to even do like a zoom transition. I'll link that up here about how you actually can do zoom type transitions with keyframing. And say for instance, I already worked on that, but see, watch this, how it just kind of zooms out. Okay, so if you want to zoom, do it kind of like a zoom feature, let me show you. Boom. The other thing is, if you don't like any of the keyframing ideas that you did and you want to start over, you just hit the X button. And the keyframings are deleted and you're good. Okay, so find where you want to do a trend. Like, this is cool. So what did you do is you find where you want to do the transition, put a keyframe there, go to the end of the clip, put another keyframe there. So now you see I have these 2 dots there. I'll go back to this first dot, go to the effects tab. So I'm going to add a long zoom and I'm gonna put the keyframe there at 0. And then what I'm gonna do is go to the end clip and make that keyframe 100%. So now just by that, you see it zooms out. And you can do that with any of their effects, right? Simple. Keyframing, regardless of what it is, you can do the text, you can do the effects. These are really great tools in LumaFusion that just make it the standout video editor, not only on your iPad, but on your iOS device. Now, say you're doing both and you don't carry your iPad with you all the time, but sometimes you want to edit for Instagram or edit something quick, video or something like that, and you want the same type of effects and same type of, LUTs or whatever you have, all the settings from your iPad to your iPhone. Let me show you exactly how you do that. You have this look, you have everything that you like about it, and you want to share it from your iPad to your iPhone. Whatever look that you like that's already set up, it might have a LUT in there, it might have some other edits, it might have some vignettes and sharpening. Boom, you just hold that, hit the share button. You can share it to the cloud, you can share it to any of these wireless, situations, or you can just airdrop it. And I'm gonna airdrop it. Look for my phone, and just like that, it's right there on your phone. So now, if I go here and say I was working on this video and I wanted that black and white, I go to the star and you see that great black and white? Boom, it's now on the phone as well. If this is your first video, you're probably like, yo, who is this guy? But I promise you, I'm trying to help you out, trying to get you the best ways to be mobily, creative in 2018, whether it's for music, art, film editing, video. And if you want to know a little bit more about me, I'll link the videos that talk a little bit more about editing video on the iPad and just my story. So that is that. Now, for a device that is really convenient for doing voiceovers, I'm going to go back to these trusty Shure products. They make the Shure, this is the Shure MVI, right? Where you can plug in a mic, you can plug in a guitar, you can plug in a bass. It has a very, very good preamp. And this is what I like to use for when I'm in the studio. I've talked about this before. Now, if I'm just on the go and I have something in my bag that I can do voiceover work with, it's gonna be this. And this is the Shure MV88. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna bring that close, but it's lightning and it is a great sounding, very portable. You see how small it is. You can literally put it in your pocket. The build quality is amazing. You can twist the capsule to make it stereo, mono. It comes with a wind cap, but it is 150 bucks. Let's be real about that. And people are like, that's a little pricey. But I'm always looking for the best quality for the lowest price. And I have a ton of gear that I've tried over the years. And one thing that I'm always going to be keen on is how convenient is it? What's the quality? What's the quality of the sound or the quality of whatever it does? And what's the actual build quality? And how well does it work in a clutch situation? So if I was to do voiceover for, my videos on my phone, or even like people that are vlogging, or this thing sounds incredible. And I use it a lot. This is the Shure MV88. I've had this for almost 2.5 years. And you can tell the quality is remained. It's not too many marks on it. Comes with this great carrying case to keep it secure. Now, if I wanted to edit and do some voiceover on this video, all I'd have to do is plug this straight in. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get the app once you have this mic. When you have this app, it's really cool because it can show you the different ways that the mic can pick up a pattern. So it can go all the way from 60 degrees on one setting all the way to 135. So that's very wide. So like if you want ambient sounds, if you want to you're outside and you hear trains and people walking by and you just want that for your background audio, you can do that and record it just like that. Now, if you wanted to do more of just a mono pattern, you just swipe over to mono pattern and it's going to change the mic capsule in here to be mono. Or if you want it to be mono bidirectional, that means it's going to get mono from both sides of the mic. Or you can have mono with a little bit of stereo like that. I talked about that with this. And the reason I carry this with me sometimes more than this is the fact that this can record by itself. And if I'm doing podcasts or anything that I don't want to have to hook up my iPad and all of that together, I'll use the Zoom. But any other time, I'm using the Shure MV88. Going back to LumaFusion, I'm gonna set this up to a mono, and then I'm gonna go back and let's do this voiceover. So now I have it plugged in, I have it set up. The pattern's good. I'm gonna have it do a voiceover clip. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And let's just record. Give me a 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is a voiceover test for this video. This is a voiceover test for this video. I'm talking like this because I'm doing a voiceover test for this video. And I'm out. It's going to allow me to preview it. It's allow me to redo it, redo it again right here, or I can just save it with the check mark. Save it with the check mark. Got these other ones muted, and this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is a voiceover test for this video. This is a voiceover test for this video. I'm talking like this because I'm doing a voiceover test for this video. And I'm out. What I'm telling you, the audio is great. Audio is crazy. It's crisp. It cuts through when you're doing background music on top of that, and it gets the job done. Let me be real. I do recommend a lot of things that are, somewhat pricey to people. And you don't have to get all of these things at once. I'm telling you when I did my research, I'm looking for the best quality, the most convenient, and a lot of times the best build. And people ask, why did you change from like the Zoom product to the Shure? It was because it has a better build quality and it has better preamps. Why do you use this MV88? It's convenient and it sounds great. Now, if I have to pay $30-40 for better quality and it's going to last longer, and it's all of these things are investments, is what I'm saying. And make the best investments for what you're trying to do. Most of us are trying to put these videos out to build a brand and build our, just overall build our community, whether we're doing it on social media or not. One of the things that I've learned over time is like, just do your research on how to get like the best out of the videos that you're creating. People are asking about, how's my YouTube channel growing as quick as it's been growing over the last 4 or 5 months. And I'll tell you, it's because I did my research on what matters. And let me give you 3 tips on really what matters in putting your videos out there. One is to have a good thumbnail, right? I saw a lot of people who use thumbnails, who put the, text in the thumbnail. And then some people who just use a picture. Now, if you think about how we're living in 2018, most people get excited when they see a picture, and then it just, makes them stop their thumb rolling of the feed. Now, if you take a good picture of what you're talking about and you just use that picture, most times people will stop versus, taking the picture and then putting a whole bunch of text on top of it, thinking that people, will gravitate towards that. Put a great picture first, if you can, and then make sure the caption, the title, is captivating. 2 reasons why. When you're making videos for YouTube and you're making videos, that are basically be searchable via Google, YouTube, or whatever, you want to make sure those words relate to, what you got going on, but it also relates to a wide spectrum of people. So when you look at the way that I actually title my videos, it's something that's going to grab people. Oh, how to get the best, how to edit video like a pro, like all of these things are like, oh, okay, let me see exactly how this is. Now you got to show and prove. If you say, this is the best way to edit, now you got to show why is it the best way to edit, or why are you editing like a pro, or why are these the best apps? Like, you really have to stick and stay close to the title that you name it. But your titles mean so much because that's what people are searching, and that's what's going to grab people after they see that thumbnail. And the third thing is, make sure you're tagging your videos well, regardless if it's on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. Tag what makes sense in the most generic form of your video. So for this video, it's about video editing, iOS filmmakers, videographers, LUMA Fusion, editing video on iOS. These are all tags that I'm gonna put on this video, right? Shure MV88, or if somebody's looking for this, Shure MVI. GH5, which camera I'm using, RX100 Mark V, which camera I'm using, right? All of these things, education, whatever it is, they're going to match when it comes up to these tags and these searches, so that my videos can keep getting bumped up when people keep watching them and keep searching for them. You always want to make sure when you're putting your video out there that you not only entertain, but you educate and you solve a problem. Think about what genre, whatever thing that you're putting out there in on the web, and just think about what problem am I solving with my videos? Because the more that you solve somebody's problem, and the more that people can keep coming to you for that specific problem or that specific niche, you're your subscriber count and all those things are just going to start going up. And I've seen it personally. So that's what I wanted to give you. And I hope that you got something from this today. But I wanted to bring you something just based off of the fact that LumaFusion is, to me, it's definitely the future for video editing on these devices. And regardless if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can do so much with this. And to be honest, it's one of the most popular videos on my channel. And so more people that follow me because of that, you got to keep feeding the community what they need. And I get a lot of comments about LumaFusion editing and how to get the best out of that. So that's what it is for today. I hope that you did find something that you did not know that you know today. Catch y'all on the next one. You know how I do. And I'm out.